This is probably going to be the most important thing you'll hear if you've been struggling with pornography for years. Because if you get this wrong, you'll quit long before recovery actually has a chance to change you. Now, this is going to be a really straightforward, short, to the point episode. You might get frustrated at me, and you might just be angry in general. And so, just, if you like me a lot, just go watch something else. I'm just kidding. This might be what you need to hear. But I think when it comes to recovery, like in general, most of the time, people try all these things. They try different blockers. They do accountability partners. They go to groups. They go to therapy, all these things. And those are all great. Obviously, I'm a therapist. Great things. You can see a lot of great change because of therapy and really because of all of those things. But what if I told you the biggest blocker isn't recovery or isn't pornography? Is what I meant to say. It's not pornography. What if the biggest blocker is you? It's the fact that you're giving up too soon. Now, I'm not trying to discredit anything that you've done so far in the recovery process. I'm not trying to discredit all the work that you've put in. Like, dude, I see you and that's great. Here's the thing that I see with most of my clients, I think, is that they come in really excited, and this could be you. You start the recovery journey, right? Called the pink cloud effect. When you start your journey, you get really excited, you're super stoked, and you have a lot of motivation to actually start to change, right? Things like group, things like therapy, things like accountability. All of these things, all of these new tools that you start to learn, they're really exciting, and you actually have the motivation to follow through and do them. However, one of the things that people don't like to hear is that the two main silver bullets, and we've talked about this before, but the two main silver bullets for recovery is consistency and time. Those two things are difficult, and they take a lot of effort. Now, the ingredient for those two things is your commitment. Are you dedicated to recovery? Which recovery is the act of becoming something new, right? It's not just the act of taking away pornography or taking away the very thing that you're trying to overcome. You insert anything into that. Recovery is simply becoming somebody new, doing something different. Okay, it's changing behavior, and that's specifically for pornography. Now, this pink cloud effect can last for weeks, months even, and you get to the end of it, and all of a sudden you wake up and your motivation to continue to do all these small things, to continue to do the dailies, to continue to try and create this life that you want that doesn't have pornography in it, all of a sudden you start to receive a lot of like friction trying to live that life. Whereas before it was really easy. And so when you get to this point, when you leave the pink cloud effect, this is when people quit. This is when they stop. This is when they start giving into the thoughts that you have about I'm just never going to be able to do it. Or like recovery's not for me, right? Pornography is just going to be in my life, and I'm just going to have to come to terms with that and accept that. That's where people start to give into those thoughts, is after they leave this pink cloud effect. You guys, listen. You have to trust me. You have to believe that if you stick to it, over time you will start to see the life start to unfold that you're trying to create. You think of your life as like a stock market chart, okay? If you have an iPhone, I don't know if Android does it. Do they have like a little stock market app? They might. Go on there, look at the stock market, and look at like all time, okay? Look at the all-time graph. And you'll see that for the most part, at like Apple, look at like Apple, right? There's going to be an upward trajectory. Look at Tesla, upward trajectory over time, an all-time trend. But zoom in now from all-time down to like a week. You'll see weeks where there is a sharp drop, a tank. And looking at that alone, you think like, oh, dude, like this stock is totally tanking right now. I shouldn't invest in anything. They're never going to progress. Like, why should I be investing in this? So I'm gonna pull everything out and I'm done, right? But little do you know, you were looking at the week or the day view. You weren't looking at the all-time view. If you have a bad day, if you have a bad week, even a bad month, that isn't telling of where you have gone or where you started from. Okay? That's just telling you where you are now. And that's okay. You got to start to have a vision, long-term vision of this person that you want to become. The person you want to be, and the things that are in that life probably aren't going to be here tomorrow. And that's okay, because we're not in a rush to get there. Recovery happens in its own time when you add consistency, time, and your commitment. When you look at recovery as something to be done quick, even within like 90 days. Now, can you see a lot of progress within 90 days? Absolutely, you can. But at the same time, you shouldn't expect the life that you want to happen in that time. Okay? When you do, discouragement starts to set in. You start to get really discouraged, upset, and think that you're a failure. Well, you're not a failure. Your timeline is just zoomed in way too far. Start to zoom out. Take a look at the bigger picture and how what you do today and what happens today really may not have the biggest impact on where you're headed, which is up, right? Which is becoming, which is creating this life that you want. Look at it as like the gym. We can learn so many things from the gym, dude, for real. But you can also learn from, nature, all those things. But your boy's a gym rat, okay? Look at the gym. If you are committed to the gym and you go consistently, let's say every other day, okay? You can eat some brownies here and there. You can eat some cookies here and there. But if you are consistent with trying to always work out every other day and, eating fairly healthy, I don't know when you're going to be like fit and strong and lose some fat, but I do know that it will happen. It will happen. And I think that you would believe that, right? Because there are so many people that you've seen who have actually done that. Like on social media, you might have some friends who've lost a bunch of weight and gotten buff, right? So you know that it's possible, but you still have to commit. And this is where recovery, I think, is even harder than that, because not all the time, you don't get to see all of these people who have overcome pornography and see their lives drastically change, and you can base their life or kind of get an idea of the life that you want out of someone's example. Like, people aren't always sharing those stories, right? And that's kind of hard, and you may not have ever seen that happen to somebody, and so you don't know that it's possible, or you haven't seen it anyway. But here's the thing, and hear it from me first, or maybe hear it from me for the 150th time. If you are consistent and over time with your commitment, you will start to see change. You will start to see your life change in ways that you never thought imaginable. But that takes your commitment. Without your commitment, things like consistency aren't even possible. And then as time goes by, nothing will change. So don't let the one slip, don't let these little mistakes, these little setbacks, define where you're going overall, and define the person that you're going to become, the person that you are becoming. Don't let these little things, these little roadblocks, stop you. Overall, recovery is about direction. It's not about perfection. As long as you are headed in the right direction, then that's really all that matters. And again, direction over time. So don't judge yourself based off of how you did in a week or even a month. Look at months and years and see where you're going and compare that to where you've been. And I promise you, if you have those three things, commitment, which is your consistency, and put that with time, you will see a difference. Because the people who experience lasting freedom aren't necessarily the ones who never fall down, right? They're the ones who fall down and never stop getting back up. That's you. You can keep getting up. Even when it's hard, keep getting up. Keep moving forward. And I promise you, you're going to see change. Speak to you in the next one.